Yesterday we have obtained the final equation del square Es is equal to gamma square Es. This is Laplacian of Es, that is written in this form. Now we consider that the wave is uniform. It means the value of the wave remains constant throughout the plane perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. It means if wave is propagating in z direction, then the plane that is perpendicular to this, in that direction, the value of the wave remains constant. So if wave is propagating in this, then this is either E, this will be B, or this will be B, this will be E. So the plane that is perpendicular to the propagation direction, one direction occupies by E and another is occupied by B. So according to that, let us consider if wave propagates in z direction. Then we can write E is equal to x and y terms will be, change in x and y terms will be 0. It is showing that the wave propagates in z direction. Similarly, in case of h, it can be written as hzt. Now, as the component that is perpendicular to the direction of the propagation will remains constant, so this and this means derivation of this with respect to y direction and derivation of this with respect to x direction will give you 0. The only term that will exist there will be divided by z square. So this term will exist there and remaining terms will be 0. We can write down Es divided by del z square minus gamma square gamma square Es will be 0. So this is the final equation that we have. This shows that wave propagates in the z direction. Now what we can observe from here, this is second order differential equation. Okay, and if we solve this second order differential equation, then we can find in this form E is C1, that is constant, e to the power minus gamma z plus C2 e to the power gamma z. And to find the value of C1 and C2, so that we can find the value of Es, apply the limit, and that is applying the boundary condition. Let us assume the wave propagates in z direction. We can say applying limits, and we assume that the wave is propagating in plus z direction. And if wave is propagating in plus z direction, then we can assume z tends to infinite. And if z tends to infinite, in that case the strength of the wave will be 0, as there is, you will put one stone in the pond as wave propagates, and assume that the wave is propagating up to infinite length. In that, you can say it will die out by itself. So you can say Es will be 0 if z tends to infinite, and C1, this term C1 divided by very high value, it will be minus infinite plus c2 e to the power infinite. It will give like this. And this term will be 0 as this will be in denominator with very high value. So 0 plus c2 e to the power infinite. This equality holds good only when c2 is 0. So from here we can say c2 is equal to the 0. And if c2 is equal to the 0, then we can write the remaining term E is equal to c1 e to the power minus gamma z. Okay. Now the second limit, that is z is equal to starting. So we can say when z is 0, then it will be 1 and c1 can be E naught. So in that case E naught will be c1. So applying this limit, we can say Es can be E naught e to the power minus gamma z. Okay. So this is the final phasor form of electric field. Phasor form of electric field. And to transform into time varying field, we can do it by multiplying e to the power j omega t to the phasor form. And if we will multiply to phasor form, we will take a real part of that will be time varying field. So we will multiply this to the phasor form of electric field. So the time varying should be EZT. Here only it is varying in with Z only. Here time variation is also there. So real part of E is e to the power j omega t. This will be the time varying electric field. So real part ES can be written as E naught e to the power minus gamma z e to the power j omega t from here. And in the beginning of this lecture we have seen gamma is alpha plus j beta. So put that value here. Real part of it E naught e to the power minus alpha plus j beta z and e to the power j omega t from here, real part of this. And if we will further simplify this, then we will find we will keep j terms together and remaining parts together. We can have E naught e to the power minus alpha z and remaining term will be e to the power minus j beta z multiplied with e to the power j omega t. Now if we will further simplify, then we can have real part of this E naught e to the power minus alpha z e to the power if we will take this term here, then we can say j omega t minus beta z. We can write like that. This exponent includes a real part and imaginary part, but we required only real part. So break it into real and imaginary and we will take only real part of this as well. So we know e to the power j theta can be written as cos theta plus j of sin theta. So in this way break this as well. So real part e naught e to the power minus alpha z, it will be cosine of theta, this is full theta, omega t minus beta z plus j times sine of this full angle. We can write like that. And if we will take a real part of this, then it will be e naught e to the power minus alpha z times cos of omega t minus beta z. This is the time varying electric field in the plane wave propagating in the z direction, and the direction of electric field component will be in the direction of, you can write like this, AE. Keep in mind that if wave is propagating in z direction, then it is minus beta z. Okay. Now let us try to find the similar relationship in case of magnetic field. So for magnetic field, before coming to that, means before finding HZT, before finding this, let us discuss the intrinsic impedance that will help us to find this. So the next topic is intrinsic impedance. Impedance, I think it is. Now intrinsic impedance is defined as the ratio of electric field and the magnetic field in phasor form. This is intrinsic impedance, that is indicated by zeta. Now to find the intrinsic impedance, there should be any relationship between ES and HS, and if we recall, then we can find there is the Maxwell's equation minus j omega mu HS. If I am right, this is the Maxwell's equation that we have in which the relationship between ES and HS is given. Now to find the ratio of this to this, let us simplify this, and as the ES is in x direction, let us assume, then we can have the curl of, we can find the curl of ES, that is curl of any vector can be written as the, in this form, del over del x, del over del y, del over del z, as ES is in x direction. So we can say E naught e to the power minus gamma z, that is in the direction of EX. EX is equal to, and in these two directions there is no E. Okay, we have this, and now solve this. AX times 0 minus 0 minus AY times the differentiation of this with respect to del z. So E naught minus gamma e to the power minus gamma z, okay, and minus 0, and this and plus 0. So we have the curl of ES like this. If we will simplify, this is multiplication in between. If we will simplify, then it will be AY E naught gamma e to the power minus gamma z, and remaining terms are 0. This will be at the place of this. Okay, so from this equation we can have E naught gamma e to the power minus gamma z in the direction of AY will be equal to the minus j omega mu hs, and take gamma out here. Remaining terms E naught e to the power minus gamma z, it is Es. So we can write gamma E is in the direction of AY should be equal to the minus j omega mu hs. We can write like this. Okay. Now from here we can find the ratio between this to this. That will be Es divided by Hs will be minus j omega mu divided by gamma. It will be in the just for a time being, if we will assume only magnitude, then it will be gamma. And from here, from previous study, we know gamma can be written as minus j omega mu divided by gamma can be written as j omega mu sigma plus j omega epsilon. If I am right, this is the correct form of gamma. I think there is some mistake in the sign. So sign starts from here. Let us rewrite this. Ax 0 start from here. Ax times 0 minus 0, that is this, minus ay times 0 minus, okay, here should be one more minus. So the differentiation gives minus gamma and this minus, both will be plus. Now I think it is okay. So the value should be minus, and according to that here it will be minus, here it will be minus, and here it will be minus. Minus and minus will be cancelled out. The remaining term will be this. Now this is okay, and if we will simplify, then we can find a relationship that is nothing but intrinsic impedance. Let us do that. Now simplified form of this will be Es divided by Hs. It will be this part and this part will be cancelled with half power. So remaining terms will be j omega permeability divided by sigma plus j omega epsilon. Okay, so this is nothing but the intrinsic impedance of the intrinsic impedance. So this is the magnitude, and if we find the angle, then we can write, it can be written as the absolute value with some angle theta n. We can write like that. That is general term for all. So intrinsic impedance, if we know this, then we can find Hs. Now phasor form of H can be find out from here, that is Hs can be find out by Es divided by intrinsic impedance, and it can be further written as E naught e to the power minus gamma z divided by intrinsic impedance. Now, if we wish to convert this phasor form into time varying form, then we can have hzt that will be similar to this real part of hs e to the power j omega t, that is simple conversion in time varying field. So according to this, as we have this part, similar to that we will get a real part of this hs we can find from here e naught e to the power minus gamma z divided by gamma divided by intrinsic impedance times e to the power j omega t. Okay, what we find, it is completely same, just this term is additional. See here, only this term is additional, and if this term is additional, put the value of this here. So for that purpose it will be real part e naught e to the power minus gamma z is e to the power j omega t divided by this with angle theta n. Okay, and if we will simplify, then as theta n is in the denominator, and when it will go up, it will come with minus of this. So if we will simplify this similar to this, then we will find just h is equal to final solution I am telling, that will be E naught like this, complete like this, E naught e to the power minus alpha z, and this will be additional term in the denominator, and cosine of omega t minus beta z, this will be with lag theta n. It will be in the direction of AH. So this is the time varying magnetic field when wave propagates in the z direction. Okay, so in this way we found out we have electric field component and magnetic field component of the wave when it is propagating in the direction of z. So at any time what we find, E leads H by angle theta n. Okay, so both E and B time varying solution has been obtained here. Now we can stop at this point. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you.